everybody, and welcome to VEA Spazio Miniature. My name is Dario, I am co-author and co-host of Monsters Behind the Masks, the only podcast entirely dedicated to Carnevale, the miniature game. Now, I'm here as Andrea's guest to present you a battle report of a battle fought between my guild and my friend Filippo's Strigoi. Now, let's jump into the action and benvenuti a Venezia. This mission, Street Fight, is the most unbalanced of all the missions available for free in the rulebook. Now, I decided to be the defender, so I had the right to choose how the buildings and the setup was deployed. And I decided to be in the left area, while the right one with the bell tower was my opponent's. Now, we see the gondolier right down the building, Capodecina on the top. On this riva, we find the recruiter and the arbalester, the citizen close to the bridge, and on the other side, the barber and the fisherman with a pole spear. The fisherman has got 3 additional common points from the mission. And these are my agendas: Daredevil, Follow Your Fate, and Heroic Duel. The most difficult of the set, in my opinion. I have to pick up the Noble Strigoi with my Capodestina. It's not easy at all. Filippo deploys on the opposite side. Noble Strigoi, Thrall with a crossbow, Nosferatu, a Seer. While on the opposite Fundamenta, we got another Thrall with a crossbow, a common Strigoi, and a Feared Reaper. The Seer has got Cantrip of Stars, Blessing of the Sky, and Glimpse of Glory that can potentially tilt the balance of this game. We saw the 3 agendas, and Filippo is ready. Initiative roll-off for the first turn. And we see the guild scoring just 1 success, while the Strigoi has 2. And so the Strigoi will be the first one to act. The Reaper is the first miniature that is activated and climbing the building without any difficulty, actually. The Reaper is on the roof, and the second action is to move far away. First action for me is activating the gondolier and trying to climb up the building. Clearly, I want to have a better position. The gondolier scores a success, and so he climbs up to the balcony. Rinse and repeat. I decide to spend a will point, but actually I forgot to roll additional dice. But the gondolier succeeds again, and is on top. Now, the Thrall moves and decide to shoot the fisherman. 3 successes against my dexterity of 4, and the fisherman scores a critical success and parries all the damages. The barber moves up to the bridge, and he puts himself on guard. Now, it's Noble Strigoi time. The Noble Strigoi uses 2 action points to move and move again, and then climb on the scaffolds. Noble Strigoi has a dexterity 5, and so is an easy success for him. Again, Filippo rolls again for the Noble Strigoi with the 3rd action point. He moves and uses the remainder of his movement points to climb on the church and walk the church. Now, Recruiter, it's guild time. The Recruiter moves and tries to shoot the Noble Strigoi. The dexterity of the Noble is 5, so 2 successes, but the Noble Strigoi defends all the incoming damages. The Recruiter has now got a unloaded crossbow. Common Strigoi walks and walks again. But now is the time for the Arbalister to act. Thanks to the union and powered by the recruiter, I got a +2 on my attack roll. So my 3 dice becomes 5, and then I decide to spend 2 will points to roll 7, a pool of 7 attack dice. It's a lot, but let's see if it's enough to hurt the noble Strigoi. It's not a bad roll. I can roll thanks to Marksman 1, and the noble Strigoi takes a little bit of damage. The activation now is the of Strigoi. The Thrall activates, moves, and decided to shoot the recruiter. The success is on force, and spending a will point, the Thrall scores 2 hits. But the recruiter is safe. Now, back to the guild. Recruiter spent a command point to allow the Arbalister to reload her crossbow, and now it's guild time. The citizen simply puts herself on guard. But now Strigoi. The seer uses the command ability to move herself up to the board and the noble to have him closer, and then she casts Glimpse of Glory. With Glimpse of Glory, the noble Strigoi gains a lot of special rules, including expert protection, But now it's time for the guild. I decide to spend another command point, this time from the fisherman, to attack the noble Strigoi with my Arbalister. Unfortunately now, only 3 successes, so means 3 damage, but the noble Strigoi parries without any difficulty. I wasted a command point, damn it. Now, it's time for the fisherman to move and then put himself on guard. Nosferatu moves and moves again. Capodicina now moves, and basically he does nothing interesting. He's just waiting for the noble Strigoi to approach. Neural off, and the guild scores are critical. Arbalister is the first one to reload and shoot. She shoots again the noble Strigoi, but he parries everything with expert protection. Damn the seer, she's very strong. Now, Blessing of the Sky. The seer activates and uses Blessing on the Sky to empower further the noble Strigoi, granting +2 to his dexterity, bringing the noble to dexterity 7. That's amazing. And the seer moves. She is under the scaffold, so she enjoys some cover. Now, the recruiter activates. He reloads his crossbow and shoots the steer. She's very dangerous but quite fragile, so it's a perfect target for the recruiter, who has no access to Union. He empowers his friend, but no one cares about him. The seer takes only 1 point of damage. Now the Reaper. Reaper is very fast and very agile, so Filippo decided to try a chain jump on the roof. The first jump is a success, but the Reaper won't stay put. And the chain jump now. I say now. Some measurements are required, sorry. Now, the second jump is a success, so the Reaper moves further away, and he's quite menacing now. Now, the gondolier has been driven crazy by the rent in the sky, decided to jump off the building right into the canal. Actually, this is a cunning plan behind this. The gondolier jumps, is a success, but takes 2 damages from the fall. And the second action is to move out of the river. In this instance, I scored an agenda, but I forgot it. It's now Tal time. Reloading and shooting the recruiter. We got 1 damage to the recruiter. Now, the barber gains 1 more action point from the fisherman and moves 5 inches in on the river. But Filippo is not going to stay put. The Nosferatu uses a command point to interrupt my action and moves over the scaffold. Nosferatu has no difficulty moving there. But the barber completes his second action, moving in base contact with the steer. Actually, is a second and third action. But I got an attack of opportunity now. The barber rolls a boosted rule, fully boosted with spending 2 will points. And now the steer has got 5 incoming damage. But she parries 3. Not bad. I think that I forgot the razor as penetration, but who cares? Nosferatu activates and climbs without any difficulty. Now, the Nosferatu activates. Before doing anything, Filippo decides to use the Nosferatu's command ability. That is basically a teleport. Of course, the target of this will be the Noble Strigoi, and the first action of the Nosferatu is jumping off the scaffolds and attacking the poor barber below. The jump is a success. The Nosferatu takes very few damages from the fall, and now he attacks the barber. He uses some health point to boost the attack, since the rule Frenzied allows him to use a health point as will points. And the barber has no protection roll, since the Nosferatu is making an attack from above. The citizens now moves and puts herself on guard. I see the Noble Strigoi approaching and I fear that model. It's Strigoi time again. The common Strigoi moves and tries a jump. She tries, and with 4 inches, the chain jump is a success. And a success again. So she can jump and move into base contact with my barber. I cannot allow the common Strigoi to attack me further, so I decide to use a command point from the Capodecina to allow the barber to perform an out-of-sequence attack. My attack action will be a grapple. It's an opposed roll, and the common Strigoi is quite strong in that instance, but I try hard, and my roll is a success. The common Strigoi flies into the water. Wow. Now, the fisherman puts on the bridge, adjusting the position in order to cover the bridge as better as I could, and put himself on guard. Now, Filippo tries a very, very bold move. He wants to jump with the Noble Strigoi on the railings of the bridge, but unfortunately the jump is not enough. So the Noble falls and receives some falling damage. This was quite unlucky for the Strigoi. The second action goes actually very, very well, because the Noble now is trying again to jump over the railing, and is a success. The chain jump, that's a success as well, brings the Noble right into my lines. And this is going to be painful for me. I spend another command point, this time from the recruiter, and I try to attack the Noble Strigoi using my fisherman. I cannot benefit from a hunter because the Noble Strigoi has the same base size as me, but this is a great success. I'm very lucky in this game, and I'm rolling too many crits. The Noble Strigoi is hidden on 7, since his dexterity is boosted by Blessing of the Sky. But the fisherman is quite capable of inflicting some damages, including a critical, so the Noble Strigoi loses one life point, but he's able to parry 4 damages. And now he has got an attack of opportunity. The Noble Strigoi decided to attack my recruiter. It's very dangerous and pivotal to my strategy, since my Capodecina gives a union to the majority of my gang. Hitting on force, the Noble Strigoi scores 4 damages. I boost my roll, but I parry only a couple, just 1 actually. And so I take a lot of damages on my recruiter, and the Noble Strigoi replenish will point. Sorry, life points. Noble Strigoi has got another action and attacks again. I try to protect my poor recruiter, but it's not enough. The recruiter is having a hard time today. It's time for the kill to act, and now the Capodecina want to make a great show. My first action is to climb down on the balcony from the roof. It's a critical, but it doesn't matter. The Capodecina climbs down, and now he prepares to jump. The target, of course, is the Noble Strigoi. I decided to spend an additional action point to perform a control jump. It's the first time that I use this action, actually, but I hope it's going to be worthy. I can reroll all my dexterity rolls for the falling damages. And I score 4 successes, so only 2 damages for my 3 damages for my Capodecina. But the better part is that I scored 2 agendas. Follow your fate. I rerolled 6 dice in a single round, and Daredevil actually that I made that early with a gondolier, but okay. Now it's time for the heroic duel. But Filippo is going to interrupt me. Unfortunately, the noble is trying to grapple me away, so it's an opposed roll. I spend 2 will points trying to resist the grapple from the noble. And I score quite a bunch of successes, actually. Let's see if Filippo can manage to grapple away my Capodecina. The noble Strigoi is going to boost the roll. He's down to 1 life point, I think. But he succeeds! Damn it, my Capodecina flies 3 inches away, and since I got no action points left, my Capodecina ends his activation. I'm very sad. Now the Thrall decided to shoot a very difficult shot against my gondolier that is exactly 30 inches away from her. The dart flies, and the gondolier is hit twice. Protection roll for my gondolier? Nothing. 2 damages from the gondolier. Poor guy. The round is now over. So let's see who's got the initiative on the next one. The guild rolls. No success. This is a fumble. Damn it. That's a problem, because even if Filippo doesn't score any success, I rolled a fumble, so he got the right to start activating his models. Of course, the Noble Strigoi will be the first one. Boosting his attack now is down to 1 life point. He attacks again the recruiter, scoring a bunch of successes. My poor recruiter is into deep trouble. Protection 6 because I boosted, but is not enough. I take the exact amount of damage to kill the poor recruiter. But now the guild shouts, "Revenge!" I use, of course, a command point to interrupt. Thanks to the hunter. Thank you. Sorry, the fisherman. Thank you, fisherman. And it's a Capodecina. There's the job to be done. Capodecina comes in. And now he mercilessly attacked the Noble Strigoi. Capodecina decided to spend 2 will points in an effort to kill the monster with a 7 roll of attack. Okay, autofocus, I hate you, but I scored a bunch of successes. And unfortunately, Filippo has no means to protect all this damage, and the Noble Strigoi dies, giving me heroic duel, another victory point for the guild. Now it's time for the guild to act. The barber activates and tries to grapple away the seer. It's an opposed roll. My attack dice is reduced by 1, and the barber fails. The seer is a tough opponent. So now the barber decided to use his razor. It's a success, but not a critical since I didn't score an additional ace. Rerolling thanks to expert offense 1, and now that's the critical. So the seer loses 1 life point, and she has to parry 2 damages with her protection roll. Let's see if she can manage, but yes! Yes. Now, the Reaper activates. Filippo decided that the Reaper is going to be the guy who's going to score victory points, so the Reaper jumps. And the Reaper succeeds. He's very good at jumping. Who knows, he's very good at killing too. For the time being, the Reaper hides from the crossbows down the river. And now the citizen activates, just waiting for something to happen. She puts in a new position and puts her on guard. Common Strigoi activates and puts herself on guard too. A lot of guarding characters today. Arbalister rolls her crossbow and attacks the seer, who's in cover. It's a 4 dice attack pool since I got a union, and she scores 3 hits. The seer's got cover, so protection 4, only 1 life point lost. And Arbalister has got an unloaded crossbow now. It's time for the Strigoi to activate, and Nosferatu attacks the barber, boosting his attack roll using 1 life point, jumping up to attack 3. Amazing. 1 incoming damage for the barber, but the protection roll is a success. I parry 2 damage, so no problem. But Nosferatu insists, and now, spending another life point, he attacks again. Now he scores 2 successes, but I parry only 1, so 1 damage on the barber. Now, it's Fisherman showtime. I decided that I really want to kill the Nosferatu, so I borrow 1 command point from the Capodecina, giving an extra action point to my Fisherman, who now travels 12 inches using 3 action points into base contact with the Nosferatu. I got attack 4, dexterity 5, it's only 2 successes, expert offense 1 doesn't give me anything. 3 incoming damages thanks to the weapon, 2 life points lost. Now the Nosferatu is with just 1 life point, but the Troll comes in help. Using the special ability of the Troll loses 2 life points to replenish 2 on the Nosferatu. It's now kill time. The Gondolier wants to climb up to the balcony again. He moves and climbs with a dexterity roll that is a success. So I climb a couple of inches, and I use the second action to climb again. It's again a success. So I can use all my movement to put him onto the balcony. The Troll activates 2 action moves, and the Troll is on the river. Now, let's see some fighting. At the end of the Troll's second action, I decide to use a command point to disengage with the barber and try again to engage the Troll. It's an opposed dexterity roll against the seer, but it's a success. I rolled the destiny because it was cocked. Now, the barber goes into base contact with the Troll and attacks against dexterity 4. It's 4 successes. And now let's see if the Troll can survive this vicious attack. Only 1 damage is parried by the protection roll. All this stuff happened at the end of the Strigoi action. Now it's guild activation. The Capodecina uses 3 action points to move, and move again. And he goes into base contact against the seer. I decide to attack the Seer. I have no will points left, unfortunately, but my roll is majestic. Is another critical, poor Filippo, I'm so sorry. And 6 incoming damage against the Seer, and she automatically lose a life point since the critical attack. The Seer is down to 1 life point left. It's Seer time. She tries to disengage against my Capodecina. Yes, that is a critical, but it doesn't count again with the opposed rolls. I lower her dexterity by 2, so now dexterity 3. She can reroll thanks to Slippery 2, and she succeeds. The Seer runs away from the Capodecina, using the stairs to climb up the scaffolds. And the second action is another climb, but she fails. So Filippo decided to move the Seer. Now, fourth round. I got only 2 command points, and it's a success. Since it's a tie, we reroll, and Filippo has got the initiative. Common Strigoi activates, and Filippo decided to try a chain jump, but the first roll is it's a failure. So he tries again, and the common Strigoi with a chain jump successful this time moves past my lines. Now, the Capodecina wants to kill the Seer. First action is a move, and then a climb. The climb is a success, so now Filippo decided to spend his last command point on the Seer to interrupt the Capodecina action before performing the attack of opportunity and trying to grapple me away. I score 3 successes. So Filippo decided to spend some will points, and it's a success. The Capodecina flies down the scaffold, and the Seer is safe for now. The Capodecina has to try to avoid some falling damage, no problem at all. We are talking about 2 to maybe 3 points of damage. The second action of the Capodecina is the same, moving and climbing, trying to reach the Seer and put an end to her reign of terror. What? However, now the Capodecina has got an attack of opportunity against the Seer, and he hits just twice, 3 times. 3 times plus 1 damage thanks to the weapon, and Filippo unfortunately has only a chance to save the Seer by a critical, but he doesn't score it, so the Seer is dead. Now, Capodecina has got a third action point, and I decided to jump down into the Nosferatu and destroy the creature. The jump is a success with many aces. No problem at all. Attack roll. I need a 5s. Oh, I think that I rolled for the falling damage, but that was a mistake. Now, attack roll. 5 attack dice against Nosferatu. We are talking about 5 damages, and Nosferatu has no possibility to save his non-life. Now, down to the Reaper. The Reaper decides to jump down to the railing and then onto the balcony where the gondolier is. Reaper fails the initial jump, so he has to take some falling damages. We're talking about 5 damages, but with the high dexterity of the Reaper, only 3 pass. Now, there's a chain jump from the railing to the balcony, and the Reaper easily succeeds. Now, the gondolier has got a bad time there, because the Reaper has got an attack of opportunity, and he tries to grapple. I scored only 1 success on the opposed roll, so the Reaper takes the gondolier and throws his down into the canal. Falling damages are not that much. I can absorb only 1, so now the gondolier has got 6 damages. Get away the dice. Nice. Excellent. Now, the Reaper has got a second action, and it will be a climb action. Filippo decided that the balcony is not safe enough for his only miniature at the moment able to score. So he climbs, scoring a critical, and the Reaper now is on that roof terrace. The fisherman now tries to make a job that is not his, and unfortunately he fails. A chain jump onto the barrel is not a success, not at all. So the fisherman is now into the water. The only choice that I have is to use a second action to jump out of the water and stab the poor troll with my pole spear. 5 incoming damages, and the troll is dead. Filippo is losing models very quickly, unfortunately, but now the troll takes action. First action point is a move and a climb. Second action point is spent to perform a move again, so it's a climb action. The troll is safe on the roof. The gondolier now swims out of the canal onto the riva, and the second action is out of the water and then safe there. Now, the Arbalester takes her action, and she goes in base contact with the common Strigoi. I try a grapple action, but with my attack pool reduced to only 1 die is not enough. Second attempt, and again, it's a failure. Now, my citizen, she decided to spend 2 will points to perform a grapple action with her attack of opportunity. With a pool of 5 attack dice reduced by 2, let's see if the citizen can manage to throw the common Strigoi into the water, and yes! The common Strigoi flies into the water, ready to be drowned. And the citizen now, with her second action, put herself close to the common Strigoi and put a feet on her head, trying to drown her. My attack pool is reduced to 2 dice, but I spent my last will point on the citizen, and now 3 dice is not enough, unfortunately. So the common Strigoi takes no damage. Now the barber wants to try the same attempt of the fisherman. A chain jump is declared, and no, it's not enough. 3 inches, and the barber falls into water. The second action of the barber is just to swim close to the stairs out of the dangerous Venetian canals. Now, I got the 5th turn. Initiative goes automatically to the guild since I got the common points left. The Arbalester throws herself into the water trying to drown the common Strigoi. Is an opposed roll using the attack, but the common Strigoi manages to reduce to 0 my first attack pool and to 1 the second with my second action, so nothing happens. Now the Reaper jumps out of the building, down from that roof. It's quite a jump. We're talking about 7 inches. The dexterity check, unfortunately, is not high enough to avoid falling damages. So now Filippo has to try to absorb some damages with a dexterity check. The Reaper absorbs only 2. Not great, unfortunately. But Filippo now scores his agenda. And now the Reaper has got an attack of opportunity against my gondolier. Let's see what Filippo does. Reaper attacks my gondolier with 2 successes. My gondolier has to perform a protection roll, and I take all the damages. Sorry, 3 damages incoming. So the gondolier now is down to 2 life points left, and the Reaper has got another action, and it strikes again. I have to parry at least to keep 2 life points, but no, the gondolier is dead. And the Reaper replenished some life points to... Now, onto the citizen. The citizen tries again to drown the common Strigoi. Common Strigoi scores 1 ace, so my attack pool is down to 2, but 2 successes. So now the Common Strigoi loses to 4 life points. And then the citizen, afraid of the retaliation that will surely come, tries to disengage. Is an opposed dexterity roll. The Strigoi rolls 5 dice, but without any success. And the citizen fleds, trying to intercept the Reaper, still covered in the blood of the gondolier. The common Strigoi now activates, and she tries to disengage from my Arbalister, and she succeeds, because the opposed roll is not that great on my part. Just 2 successes. Perfect. Common Strigoi walks up to the river, and then the second action for Filippo will be a jump. Now, we misread the rules of the Common Strigoi. We were sure she was a 5-inch movement character, but she was actually 4. Now, the Common Strigoi tries to jump over the railing to the second railing. The first jump is a success, and the Common Strigoi flies to the second railing with a success. She cannot fit on the second railing, so Filippo decides to put her model down on that river. Capodecina runs to intercept the Common Strigoi. 2 action points spent to move, and the third one to jump over the rail, and then to the Common Strigoi. The first jump is a success, the second one is a success as well. Yes. And the Capodecina is in base contact with the Common Strigoi, gaining an attack opportunity. With his blatant strategy, now let's see if the Capodecina can end the life of the monster. It's a 10 on the Destiny dice, and just 1 success. Now I got a critical damage, plus 3 additional damages to parry using the protection value of the Common Strigoi. 1 success. That's bad. Now, the troll wants to escape. It's not an easy situation, so she uses her first action point to move, and her second to trigger a chain jump on that roof. The first jump is a success, 4 inches, and she tries the chain jump. That is all a success for the Strigoi. The troll is almost safe. Maybe. Now, the barber is activating. The barber takes 1 command point from the fisherman to gain 1 action point. So with 3 action points, the barber moves out of the water, then into base contact with the wall, and he tries to scale. It's a success. And then the barber scales again. Dexterity 5 is really great on that character. The old man scales up to that roof, chasing the poor troll. Now the turn goes back to the guild, since Filippo has no models left to use, and the fisherman just moves. 6th round. Again, the guild is going to start and automatically win the initiative. The barber again takes another command point from the fisherman to have a 3rd action point. My first action will be to move. The second action will be a jump to try to intersect the troll. Dexterity 5. I need at least 2 successes, and yes, the barber, the old man, jumps onto the troll and attacks. Let's see if this gorgeous woman is going to survive the attack of this old man. Barber just uses a regular attack with his razor and scores some damage on the troll, but the second actually third action for the barber will be a grapple. One success for the thrall, and the barber just throws her down into the river. To her death, maybe. It's a 7 inches fall. So let's see if the troll can manage to survive such a dangerous fall. The dexterity of the troll is 4. She absorbs just 1 damage. 6 life points left. And the troll is down to 1 life point. Now, the common Strigoi has to fight for her undead life. And she tries to grapple the Capodecina. With 2 successes, her attack pool is reduced by 2. And she fails. She fails, unfortunately. But Filippo is trying this again. 1 success. And now the grapple. Oh no, Filippo doesn't manage to throw my Capodecina, unfortunately. So the common Strigoi is in deep trouble now. Next activation is my citizen. My citizen uses her 2 action points to perform 2 movement actions and go toe-to-toe to the Reaper. The Reaper defends himself against the grapple action granted by an attack of opportunity, but the citizen has success. And with 3 inches, the monster is thrown against the wall. Unfortunately, not into the water. Now the troll. The troll tries to activate and try to have revenge from the old barber. She climbs and climbs again. 2 successes, so the troll can climb up to 8 inches into base contact with the barber, triggering an attack of opportunity. It's an opposed roll because, of course, the troll is trying to grapple me down into my death. And she succeeds. The old man falls, thrown by the woman, and I have to try to absorb up to 7 damages with my dexterity of 5. I managed to absorb 3 damages, so 4 to the barber. That is now down to 2 life points left. The Herbalister goes out of the water and reloads her crossbow. Now it's on the Capodecina. Capodecina attacks the common Strigoi. And it's a good attack roll. Just 1 failure. The common Strigoi tries a protection roll. And it's a critical success. She's alive. Second action point and second attack from my Capodecina. The Capodecina strikes 4 times now for 5 damage thanks to my weapon. Actually 4 damage thanks to my weapon. And the troll is going to try the miracle again. But this time she's unlucky. And she dies, horribly screaming. The Strigoi now are in deep troubles. Because now the guild is going to activate again. The Capodecina, as his last action point, I try to jump into the water, trying to reach the Reaper and go as close as possible to that monster. But I think that will be utterly useful. One of the Strigoi is going to fled the battlefield, ensuring a victory point to the Strigoi faction. Now, the whole Strigoi gang left at the start of the 7th turn is the troll. The Herbalister tries to shoot the troll on the roof, but she fails, and the troll survives. Now it's up to the Strigoi. The troll tries to shoot down to the barber, trying to kill him, and she scores 3 hits, but I am able to parry 2, so now the barber is down to just 1 life point left and won't heal revenge. Third action point granted by command point of the Capodecina, who can see the barber, and the barber now tries to climb up to that building. It's a critical success. Another one, sorry, Filippo. Sorry. And the barber climbs up to the building. The barber uses his second action point to climb again and reaches the roof and the troll. And now he tries a grapple action. The troll tries to defend herself with just one success, but I got first strike, and my opposed roll is success. The troll flies down to her own death. The barber smiles with her hands covered in blood. Now, the guild clearly wins. This game was heavily affected by my rolling. My dice were really hot that night, and the poor Filippo has to accept his defeat by the hands of the barber. Good job, fisherman. You cannot jump. Thanks, Filippo.